the wind as much as he can. And one of them sits on him, in addition to somebody going below, going the short side. Tony Carl, who started the scoring with a very good individual try. A hard tackle by Jarvis on Watkins. Fisher. Mills. Big strong forward in the Welsh team. To the favourite here, Tony Gordon, and they love him here. Pushes Matthias away. Wales on the right, defending, but leading 22 points to 17. And it's all in this last half hour or so, with New Zealand trying to find a way through. Half-time, Wales tried just before half-time, 17 points to 14. Wales had tried, 2 by Francis, both which were disputed by New Zealand on the ground of the forward pass. Then John Bevan, a real sensational try just before half-time, and then 2 minutes to go, Willicombe. Willicombe having a good match. David Willicombe from Cardiff and Wigan. New Zealand tries Carl, Orchard and Gordon. Much more experienced and older Welsh side than the young Kiwis, who a lot of them are in the teens, the 2 Sorensons. But it's Wales leading 22-17, having scored their highest point in this World Championship. New Zealand on the left, in possession, dark jerseys. Garnick. New Zealand desperately wanting to win in this match to go into the 3rd position of the World Championship. Australia taken by 1 point against England 12. England's win yesterday put them into 2nd place. 15 minutes gone, second half, and almost a chance for Frank Wilson, but still a chance for Matthias. A little lazy work by the Kiwis. Wales have got Watkins, fullback, who's using the wind, which is blowing in from the sea, and after the sun comes a bit of the cold, but Watkins, probably playing in his last season in rugby league football, wants to win very much today. We've got Matthias, Wilson, Willicombe and Bevan in the 3 quarters, and the half-backs Francis and Banner, and the forwards Mills, Fisher, Murphy, Mantle, Gallagher and Gregory, with subs Turner and Cliff Jones not being used. We've got the New Zealand physio, Mark Oram, around. John Bevan, his try is always now in rugby league. He puts his right hand up when he can in salute before he goes over. A bit of forcing in the scrum there. John Greengrass has gone to number 8 position, field side position, against the big strong Jim Mills, also from Cardiff. And it's Peter Banner, Wales possession. 22 points to 17. John Smith has now taken it from him and got it. And offside, Wales offside, Tony Fisher offside. Wind might prove to be the deciding factor, blowing down towards the cricket scoreboard end, those of you who know the Swansea ground so well. And a good crowd here, been enjoying the fact of the lead changing hands 6 times. Both teams working set-piece moves, taking two defenders out of position, they hope. Well, there's the move, which does just that. Halfway line. And this World Championship match, which one of the stars, this boy, Dennis Williams, the captain of the day, New Zealand without Kenny Sterling, the captain who was injured, concussed. And also loose forward Murray, for that matter. And that is the loose forward taking his place, Peter Gurnick. The experience of Wales, now position-wise, and the touch judges in. Mr. Cran of Leeds, the referee is a French referee. I haven't seen him, he has now. So off he trots, and he points to Tony Fisher with his flag stick, and it's a penalty against Tony Fisher, and the referee is threatening to send him off if he either does it again or chats again. Dennis Williams to kick. 80 minutes gone in the second half, with the 22 points to 17. And New Zealand very keen to get this win to take them up into the third place in the league. Wales 22, New Zealand 17. 1 try, 1 goal, the margin. Jarvis working the moves, arranged by their coach Georgie Menz, himself a very good stand-up half in his playing days. Sorensen, Kurt Sorensen, two brothers, Kurt and Dane Sorensen. Tony Cole. Bit of hard tackling going on. A lot of experience in the Welsh front three, well, the Welsh forwards really all together. There's a lot of Kiwis out here. Gurnick. Play on, says the referee. Collicoat up from the full-back position. John Smith, scrum half, played centre. Looks as if the 5 tackles it up, and it's going to be an up and under, which he does quite often in the fourth. Who's going to get it? John Bevan, I think, has got it. And injured is full-back Warren Collicoat. Something after the kick was made, I would imagine. And he's certainly quite a little bit hard at the moment. Warren Collicoat injured. Well, Tony Fisher, who's been involved in a number of things. Tony Fisher, of course, Swansea in his hometown, and Big Jim Mills. A lot of experience there, both experienced players, both past the 30 mark, and we've got the sub coming on, which is Bruce Dickinson and Warren Collicoat to go off, and that's very important for New Zealand. I think it's something on his head, and a head injury. 20 minutes, second half, so you know there's 20 minutes to go. Well, the Welsh team are now going to have to do an awful lot of tackling. Just what a lot of difference Bruce Dickinson's entry will make, I don't know, because Collicoat is a very good fullback, very hard to replace. Stuart Gallagher, ex-South Wales policeman from Llanelli. Is that right? Llanelli. Collicoat has got a cut under his right eye, and there's a little bit of hardness coming in, and Fisher received something there. No doubt David Watkins will use all these penalties to get distance. Much harder then, of course, for the Kiwis to start coming back with the 5 tackles. 5 tackles, by the way, not the 6 tackles that you normally see in Grandstand or on BBC Two Floodlit matches. Gordon has gone full back, Dickinson on the wing, and working again Brian Gregory. Wales on the right. New Zealand in their black and white hooked stockings, 25 yards line. This match has still got to be decided, although the advantage is now lying with Wales, 22-17 lead, and the wind, and New Zealand without their full-back, Collicoat, having to rearrange their side. Fred, this is a chance for Garnett. I don't know whether he can take on Watkins. He's turning it inside to Phil Orchard, to the man who might have broken the tackle, but John Bevan took him well. This is a chance for New Zealand now coming back in the picture with their young Kiwis. And this is the player that, Tony Gordon, that fancied by lots of people, but then I'm looking around, the three players on the ground. Tony Fisher is one getting up, Stuart Gallagher is the other, and Bob Jarvis is the other. Bob Jarvis seemed to go down. There's been a lot of hard tackling going in this last 10 minutes or so, and before that, for that matter. Tony Fisher is calling for Johnny Malpass, the Welsh physio, to come on. Just a reminder of the competition table, the World Championship has gone to Australia by 1 point, and they were saying this morning that had Wales not beaten England earlier on, it would have been Wales's, it would be in England's tournament. But Australia 13 points, England 12 points, New Zealand at this point of time, with the match not ended, New Zealand 6, France 3 and Wales 2. So it's New Zealand 17, Wales 22. And Bob Jarvis looks as if he's got to go off. There's only Lindsay Proctor, they're coming for this with the stretcher. So Lindsay Proctor is the only other sub now available. Well, it's very unfortunate for New Zealand, very unfortunate for any team to lose a player at this stage, with Collicoat off. At stitches in is under his right eye, and Jarvis being put on the stretcher. Kenny Sterling couldn't play today because he was concussed last week. So where does Proctor? Proctor goes as a front row forward, so he goes up front. And as Jarvis is carried on, we proceed. Wales 22, New Zealand 17. Banner, Peter Banner, Frank Wilson for Wales. Jim Mills does a very good rendering of the Scottish soldier, does Mills. I don't know whether he'll do that after his triumph or otherwise today. Depends how you look at it. Well, the New Zealanders are still fighting for the life in this match. David Watkins, John Mantle. Francis getting in the burst and getting it to Banner. Banner looking round for support. He's going to cross to the support with his Matthias. Matthias to Gallagher. Gallagher to Matthias. And the crowd rising to that. Wales back on attack, leading by 22 points to 17. Jim Mills. They did a chance at an overlap. Overlap on his own, and John Mantle, 6'2", gets him over. John Mantle kept going. John Mantle was explaining why he couldn't give the pass. You don't find John Mantle laughing all that much, but he's explaining to John Bevan that he either couldn't get rid of the ball or he wanted to score, but whatever he did, it's 25 to 17, and this is how it starts again. The Gallagher on the far side to Matthias. and the line was coming out, and across this side of the field there was space. Mills then had a turn in it. It stayed along that side, then it came across, and a few players handled, and then Mantle. Now he had Willicombe, he had Bevan, but he went, and his 6 for 1.5 or whatever took him over to make it 25 points to 17 for David Watkins, a chance to make it 27-17. Again, 2 to the little twitch of the moustache, and into the field he runs. But unless the wind does something unexpected, he doesn't get the goal, but the try was there, and a good try indeed. John Mantle, in his latter days of rugby league, no doubt will regard this as one of his highlights after having played an hour more, can still raise the gallop to score a good try like that. Well, the highest aggregate in an earlier match was 42 points. Now the level, so we could get probably 2 points from this one, although I wouldn't think they'll kick a goal. I think it'll be for touch. Looks as if New Zealand have just got a little bit worried now. Not only that try, but having lost their full-back Warren Collicoat and their stand-up half Bob Jarvis, who've been having a very, very good match. On a little quieter now of the Kiwis. Penalty 7-5 for the Kiwis. Goes to Rugby Union follows. New Zealand known as the All Blacks, but here is the Kiwis. Most of these players are amateurs. In fact, Tony Cole, who is the player of the match today. Dennis Williams. And penalty for New Zealand, a kickable position, but the time factor, it's got to decide, not quite sure what to do, but they're going to let Tony Gordon kick at goal. Tony Gordon, this man came in as a sub a couple of matches ago, and as I was telling you about that, Clive Jones from Aberavon and Porthcawl runs up and down the test line to come in a sub, but when he interrupted us, it was Tony Gordon kicking and successfully kicking. He came into the match as a sub, and the Bradford fans really took to him, and today the Welsh Swansea crowd have really taken to this chappie, the Chuggy, I call him Bumper Gordon. He really runs well and kicks well. Wales 25, New Zealand 19. 10 minutes to go, and Clive Jones reports to the referee, and he replaces Brian Gregory.
Number 13, Brian Gregory, being substituted now for number 15, Clive Jones.
I saw Clive Jones this morning training on Mumble Spear. So he was just walking or training, but he's getting his chance. Wouldn't be a goal, by the way, if it had gone over the post, although I once saw a referee give one. He didn't referee much after that, but that was by the by. 25 yards line, and New Zealand on the left. Now fighting to stay in this match. 25 points to 19. The older, experienced Welsh side, number of forwards past 30. Possibly the last time seeing this sort of this World Championship tournament. Some of these experienced forwards. And that takes some doing to old Jim Mills at bay. That's what Dennis Williams, the captain, did at that moment. Gurnick of the long hair having a good match, but not a good up and under. Number 13, Peter Gurnick from Auckland. Obviously, there's got to be a little rearranging of the New Zealand team, and it's a little bit hard for her to have to put a forward in the backs. There's a chance for Matthias. Roy Matthias, the medalist, St Helens. And the crowd stained this match. Mick Murphy. 25 points to 19. I could have a chance for interception. A loose ball, a bit of knock on. So after Cardiff's good win against the Wallabies yesterday, no doubt Wales will be quite happy to see this win against the New Zealand Kiwi boys. Wales taking the ball from the scrum, knock on, that was the fifth in succession. But then, of course, New Zealand rather disorganised with injuries. Watkins up from the full-back position. Wilson. Brad Jones. Peter Banner. Peter Banner, the baker from Lancashire, and David Watkins will no doubt have a go at goal. I'll give you any odds you want. 25 points to 19. And a little darkness comes in and the crowds come in from across the bay. But this splendid ground, well drained, well, once we did, it's a knockout on this ground. So let's have a look at Watkins in action. Pull his short at first. 3, 4, 5 steps back. 2 to the left. 1, 2. Short again. A little touch of his moustache. And he circles and pulls the ball, but no goal. Little difficult to tell in anticipation, but it's no goal. 25 points to 19, still the score. And New Zealand have it all to do now. They've had a good part in this match, but not feeling too happy, I would imagine, the situation at the moment. They had a lead at 14 to 10 at one period. Cover is there, but so is support. This Peter Gurnick is getting all over the field. It's one side to the other, and the Kiwis are giving the ball plenty of air. It's not a knock-on. It's play on, says the referee, and his decision is right. Got to give it a lot of movement. And the Kiwis are doing just that. Stuart Gallagher on the touchline side. But it's a match where the injured have got to go. 5 minutes to full time, 5 minutes to joy or disappointment for the Kiwis, and the same, of course, for Wales. But the Kiwis, of course, are 12,000 miles away from home. The Welshmen are at home in the valleys, and it's still plenty of movement. Tony Hall, the player of the match today, and off they go, still trying, 25 to 19, and a chance in the corner. He's got it just taken, Kurt Sorensen by Roy Matthias, but he was very, very close. Gallagher limping, but will no doubt hold on. 4 minutes plus injury time. And there are timekeepers in rugby league who do nothing but keep injury time. Kiwi ball probably gone the wrong way. Phil Orchard. Well, the players don't know what injury time there will be, but I gather there's about 4 minutes of injury time. One of the senior rugby league referees is the Welsh timekeeper. Chance to go deep. There's the Gordon, and not a good pass, but it's still movement, and it's touch. And Wales are sticking now in their own 25-yard line. No doubt the young Kiwis, who are very, very much in the 20 age group, most of them, some under 18, 19. Oh, good run by Fred O'Connor. Interception, but no, the chance is saved. Good work by John Bevan against Tony Cole. They need to score twice. Remember, it's 25 points to 19, and he can do that. I know he's done it, but it's legal. Tony Cole rolling over. And the Kiwis back in this last desperate 4 minutes or so. Standing deep. Working a set-piece move, taking possibly two defensive players out of position. Oh, that was a bad one. Didn't come off. And a bit of a mistake by the Kiwis. Wales happy to get out of this one. Peter Banner running, and the Welsh crowd still staying. The Swansea crowd who know their rugby. Beat League or Union. Frank Wilson. As everybody says, woo, but it's a chance for Fred O'Connor, who's had a very good match. The Kiwis not sensing any danger time-wise, possibly, but must know it's getting close. They need to score, trying a goal, and then drop a goal to draw level, or kick a goal to win. John Smith had a good tour, John Smith. Sorensen, Wales will be quite happy to defend. 1 minute to full time, and then injury time. This is the strong fellow, is this, taken by Dave Willicombe, Tony Gordon, mostly from Auckland. Tony Cole from the West Coast, and up and under. The wind brings it back a little bit, so it could be troublesome. And David Watkins gets back to it in the, I was going to say the shadow of the post, but there's no shadows around. There's plenty of activity. Peter Banner, the bigger chance for John Smith. A chance for Tony Cole, and Tony Cole inches out, well, certainly inches, not a yard out. Last desperate bid by the Kiwis into injury time. Just taken by his collar, and this last grandstand bid by New Zealand is a brave one. It's a try by John Greenglass. Well, I think it sent somebody off. Jim Mills has been sent off. There is number 8, Jim Mills, being sent off, and I think it's Greengrass who scored the try, who is injured. The score, there it is. Let's have a look at this situation. Fred O'Connor had made it, and then comes this big, strong, burly John Greengrass, number 10. Oh dear. And immediately John Mills couldn't see that replay, but he will certainly look back, and off he goes, Greengrass. Great, good try. Greengrass goes off, but Mills goes for the early back, with Gordon with a chance to make it 25-24. 22 at the moment, 25-22. And off we go. New Zealand have been very unlucky with injuries today. Jarvis taken off on a stretcher, and Greengrass now going off, and Collicoat off, and Gordon to kick. 25-24, but I don't think there's going to be time 25 to Wales, 24 to New Zealand. Just a 1 point margin, and Wales are not going to hurry. 2 minutes of injury time gone. Wales 25, New Zealand 24, and certainly quite a dramatic match here at St Helens. I came here to see a match way back I think it was 1945, the first time rugby league was played here. Great match between Wales and England in, of course, pre-television days. Watkins will put it deep as far as he can, but he doesn't go over the dead ball line. Tony Gordon playing full back. Be a sensation if New Zealand want to come and take this match. They've contributed a lot to it. 25-24 the score, ball lost. I think that Wales can now hold on for the last 5 tackles. Mick Murphy, 3 minutes of injury time, possibly about 1 minute to go. Banner want to stick to the ball, Wales, and no doubt they will. A lot of experience in the side. Slow the pace. Oh, and Francis might even score. Francis still weaving, ducking and dodging. Out to Willicombe. Willicombe moving the ball out to Mantle. Mantle nearing the end of his very illustrious career. Played an important part in this match. Mick Murphy. And the whistle for the 5th tackle in the posts at the cricket field end, or the cricket wicket end, I suppose I should say, where Gary Sobers did that tremendous job. 4 minutes injury time. There are, of course, lights here at St Helens. Something must come out of this. There seems to be some wide open spaces, and it's still Wales in possession. New Zealand holding on, and the test judges in for Lindsay Proctor, and a penalty to Wales, and this will no doubt take, I would imagine, the rest of the injury time. Oh, they're taking a quick one, and could be a try to Matthias. Is it a try? No try. There goes the hooter, trying to dive in, but it's no try. And so the hooter goes, the teams away to the dressing room for their talking, no doubt, about what might have happened, but what did happen. Wales 25, New Zealand 24 from St Helens, Swansea. Hope you've enjoyed it. Goodbye.
So good afternoon to you. Thank you for your